of the same type. So again, when you are saying ordered list of elements in programming, when you are a programmer, you can also define array is what you can call as an index variable, right? It's all something arrays are also called index variable. Formally, arrays are defined as a pair which is index and value. Okay, it's my screen. Can you see my screen, right?
Yes, sir, we
Yes,
can
sir.
see.
Yes. Okay. So formally, arrays are defined as a pair that is index and value. Other arrays can be single dimensional or multi-dimensional. Internally, arrays are stored in contiguous allocation. In contiguous memory locations. Locations means continuous. We have not said continuous, but we have used the word contiguous. Okay. We have used the word contiguous. Now let us define what is how. Let us define a single dimensional array. Single dimensional array. So this is basically single dimension. So by default we will be using only integers, right? So let us first insert some. Okay, so I have done some 7 locations. Let us make it some borders also. All borders fine, and let us make this trading as no fill. So that's good. And in bold, one. So when I'm saying index, let us set this index I and index. Right. When I'm saying this is an index, let us say the value and the memory address. We will talk only about C. Okay, memory address. So from C, if we start 0, so let us say 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So let us put the value as something. Randomly we put the value that is 10, 6, 8. Let us put this value as somewhere. Right. So memory addresses will be when you have defined the array, that is the array 6. So memory address will be for integer to integer takes 4 bytes or it takes 2 bytes. So if the initial address of the array is 8000, so when you call this, the next address will be, since integers take 2 bytes, so the next address will be 8000 plus 2, that is 8,000. So the value of this next address will be this one. So let us understand again. I'll write the values. Let us understand the information. This one. 8,000, 8,006, 8,008, 8,001, 8,000. Right. So this is our basically what you can say our index value. This last two values are empty. I have kept it on purpose. Okay. So whenever you say that, let us define this as an array. So let us say array or ARR. If we want to find the value of 0, then what is the value of 0? We know the value of 0 is basically 10. Right. And what is the address of M0? Its value is basically, you see, this location, that is 8,000. But since this is an integer and this is an integer, and integer takes how many spaces? It takes 2 bytes. 2 bytes. Integer takes 2 bytes.
Sir,
Right.
sir, please can you repeat that 1 second?
Which one?
After that, the address value after that. What?
I'll tell you. I'll tell
Yes,
you.
sir.
I'll tell you. You just write your questions in the chat box. I'll explain it later. Okay. You do not have to
Okay,
unmute
sir.
yourself.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay. So when you're talking of AND address 0, so basically AND address 0 means this point. We are only considering now in this value. When you're talking about address 0, add 0, when you're talking about address 0, so basically we are taking index values. Its value is what? 10. And its memory address is basically how much? 8,000. So basically its value is basically 8,000. What is the address? 8,000. So basically you have this RAM in space. So let us say again, design it. So let us say this is your random access memory. Okay. So in random access memory, what happens? Random access memory, what happens? So memory addresses are like this: 8001, 8002, 8000. These are the address of each byte. 8004, 8005, 8006, 8007, like this one. Okay. The problem with this approach in a random access memory is that we want to all store values in there, right? But we know that integer takes 2 bytes. That means if we are taking, so basically, let us say if we want to take, let us put another value here, topmost. So let us say 8,000, we put it in here, 8,000. So if you want to put the same value 10, let us put in 10. So if we are taking an integer value, right? We are taking an integer value. So what it will do, it will take 2 locations. This is 1 byte, this is the second byte. One value will take 2 bytes. So let us merge this. Okay. So now the value that is stored in here is basically 10. The next address location will be what? Of the value 6. So it will take another 2 bytes of space. So something it will be like. Okay, let us merge again. So and this process goes on. So it will all the this it will take 2 address spaces of 2 address bytes. So 6 values 14 and 6. 8 will take again 8004 and 8005. What if initial address is 8004? That is what we mean by this word in the previous slide we have looked into this, that is contiguous memory allocation. Okay, now I think my whatever my objective of a single dimension array is very clear to. Right, what is a single dimension array? So it has an index, it has a value. And if you are working in C language or C server, it has an address also. There are many ways of addressing it, but we are not going to the pointer location. We will be only concentrating in this 2 values only. Rest we are not interested. Okay. Let us put this value. Let us put this into another place, that is this one. So we'll remove. We are not concerned with memory address. So we will only deal with this index and value part only. So let us delete it. Okay. We are only concerned with this part. Okay, so one more thing that you have to understand about this index variable, or basically like this one. So what are the operations that are possible? So one that we want to, the most important, we want to search a value. Right? We want to search. The second is basically we want what we can do. We want to search a value. The second operation that we want to put is that we want to insert one value within an array. We want to delete a value from an array. Fourth operation that we want to consider is now let us say we want to find the max or mean within the value. What is the maximum or min value? We want to what you can call let us say we want to reverse, or basically what we can do, want to reverse means the array. So the first value becomes the last value, the second value becomes the second last value. Right. One more operation can we say is that regarding the reversing, let us say find maximum, reverse array, and polynomial operations we can do. So these are some of the operations that are possible in a single dimension. So let us take this one.
So what is polynomial operation?
Okay, polynomial operation means so basically there is a polynomial equation is there, that is ax square plus bx plus c, right? So
Yes,
x
sir.
square plus bx plus c is a polynomial equation, and it has to be added with another polynomial equation, supposedly c1 x square plus c2 c2x plus c3, right?
Oh, yes, sir.
So the polynomial operation will be something like that. The addition operation will be, you have to take common the coefficient, that is x square, and you have to, or the basically equation degree, highest degree, and we have to add the value coefficient. You have to add the coefficient. For x square it will be a plus c1. For
Okay,
x it will be again b plus c2, like that.
okay, sir. Okay, sir.
You understood?
I, yes, sir. Yes.
So now let us do a search operation. So one more important operations I have just ignored, but we will take this as default, that is finding length of an array. So we will not consider it. So because if this contains a null value, doesn't contain any value, we will understand the length of this array is. So basically that is a very easy operation. You can try it. If value is not equal to null, then you increment one variable. If value is null, you get out of the loop, and the basically counter states the length of that. That is very simple operation. Now such a value. So we'll start with this one, because finding length of an array is a easier operation than all. So basically, if you do not find a value, you start it with a counter, and you add at each time if the value is not null there. So this is not null, then add 1. This is not null, counter is added to 2. This is not null, this is add 3. This becomes 4. And last, this value is basically null. Now if this is null, what this happens? The counter stops counting. So counter value becomes equal to 4. That is how to find the length of the array. The next time, if you are led by 10 minutes, I will not allow in the class. So what is the search operation? Right. The next value we are considering the search operation. So we want to search a value, that is, the value is 8. So at first, what should be the linear search operation be? So initially, it will go index by index, starting from the first index. Or you can just turn it over. So if you want to search a particular value, that is search key 0, search value that is 8, so it will first start with the index value 0. The value it comes is 10, so it doesn't match. So again, the value again that is to be searched is 1, index 1. The value in there, index 1 is 6. Doesn't match with 8. Again, the value that is again matched with index number 2 is 8 is again 8. So in this case, it matches, the search is successful, and the position of the index is 8. That's a very simple, this we can say, a search operation. So let us write a simple code on this, how the search operation is performed. This is the searching. Search a value within an array. Okay, so let us write a simple code. So know the length of the array. So length of the array, let it be what you can say. It can be L. Let us say int n. N is basically the length of the array. If the length of the array is n, so since the index starts from 0, so it will go to n minus 1. Okay. We know the length of the array is 4, but the index starts from 0, so the last index would be n minus 1. Int n is the length. Int key is the search value, that is, we have put the search value is the search operation, key is the search value, and we'll start with the array value, right? So, int, what is our address we have. So how does this operation will look? So there will be of course, a for loop will be there. So for it will search for each and every operation. So for it will be how much? It will start from int I equal to the first index is 0. Alright. And till which index it will go to? Till the last index, that is the length minus 1. I less than n, or we can say less than equal to n minus 1. And this one will be I plus plus. Yeah, any question? So the for loop now travels from 0th index till the n minus 1 index, that is 4 minus 1, 3, 0 to. Okay. So if let us find what is the array. So if add I, that is the first index is 0, it will start from 0, equals to the key value. If it succeeds, first what it will do, if the array 8 was present in here, and if it succeeds the first operation, what it will return? It will, the search is successful. That means the value is present and the position is which value? Position is 0. So if array is equal to key, then what it will do is I equal to key. So it will do what? First it will return the position, or what is the position at this moment? The position is the I. Okay, or the position where the array was found. And what it will return again? So basically that is when I will do and basically the will. Okay. So this is the for loop we broke into. If the search fails, right? If I is, if in this case there is no, the value is not present. So if I equal to n minus 1, if the search fails, in this case, what will happen? It will return, or simply if the search fails, it will return how much? It will just return minus 1. Simple, very simple operation. Now let us write the search in the array. Okay. Okay. So search int n. N is our length. That is, in this case, the length is 4. Int key is value is equal to 8. Okay. And int add is the basically this address. This array is, we can know it as array. So I equal to 0. So let us put the symbol also. Now I equal to 0. First index 0. We have the key value is 8. 0. And I is less than equal to n minus 1. That is, n is value is 4. 4 minus 1 is 3. I is less than equal to 3, 0 to 3, since you go to 0 to 3, and I plus plus. If add 0, the first iteration, add 0 equal to p, add 0 is how much value? 10. 10 is equal to 8, false. So it will again go to for loop. I equal to 1, 1, I1 is 6, 6 equal to 8, false. So it will again go for loop. 2 is equal to 8, add 2 values equal to 8, yes. What value to return? Return I or the second. So the value that is returned by this search operation is the right. Very easy to understand. Now what happens if the value is not present in the array? Let us find the value 20. Now it will first the first index 10 doesn't match, 20 doesn't match with 20, doesn't match with 6, 20 doesn't match with 8, 20 doesn't match with 3, and in this case it will get out of the loop, and what it will do, the search was unsuccessful, so it will get -1. So the search was unsuccessful. This is how the search operation. So any doubts you can ask?
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, what is the key value?
In this key value, we are putting the search element. The search element, the value we have to search in the array. So in this value, we have to search the value that is 8, the example that I showed you.
Okay. Sir, can you explain the return -1 again?
So let us say that the value is not present in the array. 20 is not present in this array, right? So in this case, what happens? So it will go all the, it has searched all the indexes. It has searched 0, 0 location. It has searched the index 1 location. It has searched the index 2 location. It has searched the index location. 20 doesn't match with 3. Finally, it gets out of the for loop, right? Since it gets out of the for loop, so what it will see that it doesn't have anything to return, but the search was unsuccessful, right?
Yes.
So in this case, what it will do, it will return a -1 value. It can return any value, it can return null also. But -1, basically for me, by default, it signifies the search was unsuccessful.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay. Okay. So now you have understood search value. Now what you will learn is basically, one second, we will go to the second point. This is the search values operation is complete. So we will do what? Insert a value. Delete all this nonsense. And let us take this array only. So now we want to insert a value. Let us insert a value. What we can say, we want to insert a value at position number 2, and its value is 20. We want to insert a value, that value is basically what we want to say. The value is 20. Okay, so we want to insert a position value that is 20. Now we want to insert 20, but we do not want to lose all those values. We do not want to lose 8. Okay, so what we should do? What we should do to insert 20 in here? So the values should be shifted. So how the value should be shifted? Supposedly, let's take a different approach. So do not want to lose the 8 value. So what we can do, we can shift the values one place to the right. So this is null value. So null value can be easily replaced by 3. So what we do, the 3 just is copy in here and paste it in. Similarly, now we go backwards. And 8 is copied from here and pasted in here. Alright, so we didn't lose the value 3 and 8. Now, since the values is already existing, we can just put the value in here. That is, now we put the value as. Did you understand this one? What did I do? Everyone put an yes mark on the screen, Google screen, on your chat box. Okay. Everyone has done yes. So anybody has a no? Did not understand. Very simple operation inserting. You just have to put them right. Now let us understand that what we can do now, how to implement this. So we want to insert a location. Right. So coding, let us say we want to insert. So we want to, one thing we want to know, what is the position? Position. What is the length of the array again? Int. And yeah, any question? Okay. We know that is the position, and we want to know what is the length of the array. And again, the thing is that we want to know is, let us make it a little more bigger. And the array that is that int add. Okay. Now what we want to do, we want to do this as for this one. Now the first thing that we should go, that since we are basically initially, what was the thing in here? It was 18 here, it was 3 in here, and it was basically null in here. So where we are, so the thing is that the array of this for loop we want to put, it should the array we want to put. So the for loop should come in this direction.
Sir, I have a request, sir. Sir, can I please rejoin because the sound is actually not coming very clear to me.
Okay. Can you hear me
Sir,
now properly?
sir, I can hear you, but for my network, I suppose. So can I just
Okay.
rejoin once?
Yeah, you can use that. Okay. So
Yes, sir. It's fine now.
okay. So the array or the for loop should start from this place. From which space it should start? It should start from, that is, this location. Since this is the value we want to enter, and we have to copy paste these values in here. Right. Until which position you should copy? Till this position. Okay. So let us write this for loop. Right. For, let us say in I equal to, let us say the last index only is n minus 1. It will start from n minus 1. And to which position it will copy? I greater than equal to I greater than equal to position. Okay, that is this position. And what it will do? I minus minus, because we are moving in this form. From in here we are moving, right? So what it will do, it will just copy the values, right? So what it will do, again, it will just copy the values. So what it will do, add I plus 1 equal to add police. Lastly, after the for loop is finished, what it will do, add position. So sorry, we have not inserted the key value here. Let us take it. Lastly, it will do add position equal to. Okay, now let us run the code. So basically, again, step off my method. In position is equal to how much? So in position we have put in here is the index value is 2. You know the position is 2. So I will be greater than equal to 2. And I will be starting from the last index. So this one, I will be starting from n minus 1. That is, if n value, the length of the value is 4. So I is equal to 3. And which position will go? I is greater than equal to 2, I minus minus. Okay. So first value is add I equal to 3. Okay. 3 is greater than equal to 2. Yes. So it will go add 3. Now what will do? Add 3 plus 1 is equal to add I. That means add 3 plus 1 is equal to how much? 3 plus 1 is 4. Add 4 is equal to now add n minus 1, 3. That means in this position, this value gets copied into this value. Done. Fine. Now I minus minus. The I value is decremented. Now in this case, what happens? Now decremented means I value becomes from 3 it becomes 2. So I value is 2. So I2 plus 1, that is I3 becomes how much? Equal to add 2. So add 3 becomes value how much? It becomes 2 value is how much? 8. 8 is copied into this value, that is 8. Fine. All is done. Done. My work is complete. Now I value becomes from in here because 2 it becomes 1. 1 is greater than equal to 2. Yes. False. It will get out of the for loop. And add position is how much? Position we have sent it 2. Add 2 equal to 3. So in this way, now 20 gets copied into. So I think I have made how the code looks and how does it will work in the array. So if you have not understood it, just please put a no in your chat box. Okay, so I think, okay, try run. Okay, so let us say, so position we have put is basically in position 2, we want to put the value 20. So initially it was 8, it was 3, and this value was 9. Okay. So now, in I equal to n minus 1 means the length that is 3, index 3. So the length of that is 4. So since it is C, so it will go from 0, 1 to 3. I is equal to 3. I is greater than equal to how much? Position. So that is position is equal to 3. From this to this it will go. So 3, so it will start with 3. And what will the happen for each iteration? The next value, that is I plus 1, that is add 4, is become equal to add this last value. So in the first position, 3 is greater than 2. So add 4 becomes equal to add 3. So 3 is basically copied in. Again, when I is decremented, I becomes 2 in this case. 2 is greater than equal to 2. So what this becomes? Add I plus 1. 2 plus 1 is 3. Add 3 becomes equal to add 2. So add 3 becomes add 2. That means 8 is copied in. Now the values are intact, and now the value becomes 2 becomes 1. 1 is greater than equal to 2. False. Gets out. Add position is how much? Position value is 2. That is, now you put add 2 is equal to key value. That is, we insert 20. Very easy operation. Now what about the delete operation? Okay. So I think you have all understood. So insert it. So now we have to delete a value. So let us again, we want to delete this value 20. Right. We want to delete the value 20. So we want to delete this value 20 here. So what is the protocol of deleting 20? What we should do to delete 20? Okay. Any answer? Okay, let's delete. Let's see how to delete and value. 20 is in here. What we want to do not delete it. Basically, we want to remove this index and we want to remove this value. We just copy paste the value that is just next to the increasing index. So we just copy 8 to this place. Okay, automatically the number is deleted, and again just copy this value to this value. So 20 is basically deleted. Okay. Now what we do? Now the array size has reduced. So one thing we can do, we can tell the programmer that the length is now n equal to n minus 1. So it was 5, now it is now 4. That is one thing we can do. Otherwise, we can just put a null operation. So in this case, the deletion operation is complete. Understood? I can explain it again. Should I explain again? Just right? Yes. Should I explain again? Okay. So we want to delete the value that is 28, 3. Right. We want to delete this number 20. One second. Just 1 second. Okay. Okay. So let us delete 20. Right. So how to delete 20 in here? So the one of the thing is that constraint is that is the array length should reduce by 1, and this index should be covered by the next index. So the array should be in a continuous. That is one thing. So what you do is just simply copy the value that is next to it on this value. That is how we can do it. So 8 is copied into 20th location, and 3 is copied into this location. Okay, and we can do it for this last value. We can put a null in here, or we can reduce the array length by 1 to signify the current length of the array is 4. Okay, so in the earlier operation we didn't do one thing. Let us do that also. So array position equal to key we did inserting. So array length also increases. So we do n equal to n plus 1. Okay, so that thing we didn't do. I'm sorry for that. In this case, the array length reduces. So it becomes n equal to n minus 1. Are you clear, everyone? If no, if anybody is no, not clear, right? No. N or no. Okay, I think every one of you are clear. So I'll write the code simply is that. So again, but the for loop direction now will be in this direction. Okay, and till which position it will go? Till the length of the array. So let us go from this one. So let us write again. Okay, so for loop will go from this to this direction. Now, delete. Let us say we want to delete a value that is 20, or we can just delete what is the position here. Int position int the current length of the array is n, and what you can do, another thing, anything else? No, nothing else. Right. So that is the only thing that you want to do. Okay. So we will again start the for loop. That is for, say, int I is equal to position. Okay, and I less than equal to the current value is basically what value? Less than equal to n, the current value of length. Okay, 1 second. So I have an okay. Let us complete this class, and we will schedule another class maybe in the evening. Just 1 second more. Okay. If I is equal to position, I is less than equal to n minus 1, and what is I plus plus. So what it will do? It will just copy paste the values. So let's say, and the array, but we are not on the array value. So what it will do? Add I is equal to add I plus 1. And lastly, what it will do? As soon as done, the n is equal to become equal to n minus 1. The length of the array is reduced by 1. Now let us what happens. I is equal to 2, position is 2. I is equal to length is equal to n minus 1. So the position, the length, the array length is now 5. So I will be less than equal to n minus 1, that is 4. Index value is 4, I plus plus. Right. So again, in this case, what happens? Add I becomes equal to the first add position. Add 2 becomes what value? Add I plus 1. That is, add 2 becomes add 3 value. That is, 8 is copied into this position. So it is first position is copied. So I value is increased. Now I value is 3. 3 is less than equal to 4. Yes. 3 is less than equal to 4. So what value that becomes? Add 3 becomes add 4 value. So 3 is copied into this place. Okay. So in this position, we can also get out this thing, or we can just put the null value also. That is, just add 4. Is I equal to 4? 4 is less than equal to 4? Yes. So 4, 5 bracket value is copied. That is, null value gets copied. But in normal cases, we do not copy null values into this place. What we just do, we just go to this only from 3 to 4 and just copy paste it, and we just reduce the n equal to n. So for this purpose, we have just deleted the copied the null value in here, and the array size has become from 5, which has become 4. We'll just write this one, that is n value was 5. So currently n value becomes equal to. That is how you delete a value in the. Okay, so deletion is also complete. So the next thing is the find max or min value. So I'll only just show you how to find the max value. So again, let us say we put this value as 18. So the most of the greatest value is basically, let us say 18, and we have to find what is the maximum value in this array. So how to find the maximum value in an array? One thing we can do is that we can copy the first value, and we can say this is the max value, and we can compare it with the rest. Now, if the first value is the max value, if it is compared, so all the values will be lesser than the first value. In that case, the first value becomes the greatest value. That is one. But if any value, such as in this position, 18 is greater than 10, then the max value is becomes 18. All right. So we just replace the key value with 18. That way, you can find the max value. So we just at first only start writing the code, and we will not go into the basically the theoretical of this finding the max value. Fine. So find max is basically again we have to give the length of the array, and we have to give the array itself. So generally speaking, before going into for loop only, we will write a int variable which we take by this value will change when you go into the for loop. So let us put the first value, that is, let us take int max. The first value is equal to add 0. Right. So what is the value at this point? Max value is at this moment 10. Now what we will do? We will go from each array to from the second value itself. We will search all the position in the array. For let us say int I equal to, since 0 we have already taken as the first value, so we will start from 1. Until what position will go? I less than equal to n minus 1 and I plus plus. So since the 0 is the first take value only, so we will just take from the first position. So 10 we have already taken as the first value. So we will not start from this position, we will start from this position. Okay. So what we will do, we will now compare the value with the rest. All right. So let us compare. If add I is
Hello,
greater,
sir.
yeah.
In the last program, in the delete program, you just decremented the value of n, and it was not passed as a reference, it was passed as a value. So I don't think the value of n will be changed. It will be changed in this function only. So we will either have to return the n, or it will have to be passed as a reference if we want to change the value globally.
Just wait. Can you just wait?
Yes, sir, yes.
If I take n as a global variable, then
Yes, sir.
if I take n, the length of the array, as a global variable, then what happens? Can you decrement it within the function?
Yes, that is okay. Yes, if it is global variable,
Yeah.
then it is okay. But generally,
Yeah.
we take as it as a main variable.
Yeah.
So
I
then
understand.
it will change.
Yeah. So n we are taking as a global variable only.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
No, because I saw in the internet they are returning the n.
Yeah, I understand it.
Yes, sir, yes. Okay, sir.
I understand it. We are taking n as a global variable. We will return it. Okay. For your purpose only, we will return this value. Okay. Now I think your doubt is clear.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. And the thing is that whenever I'm speaking something, I'm giving a lecture, so something you have to code also, right? You have to do at your home, you have to go and code, you have to write a program on this, right? And from there, the doubt will again reappear, right? That, yeah, sir, whatever he said that it was wrong, I should correct it by myself. Okay, so you do not need to get agitated at that moment. It might happen because
No,
at this
sir.
moment,
This
it
is,
is,
I was
no,
not
no,
edit. I just thought that this is not
no,
right, and the output won't be right. That's
the
why
what no, I wanted to say
I
that
didn't have the
what
intention to
no,
be bad.
I know, I understand your intention, and the thing is that I have complete sympathy. I'm completely sympathetic with it. But the thing is,
Yes.
the concept is more important. I am
Yes, sir.
teaching you the concept, right?
Yes, sir.
I am not
Obviously.
teaching you the programming, and you are better than me regarding it.
No, sir.
I'm
Yes,
just
yes.
teaching you the concept.
Yes, sorry,
So
sir.
you have to take the concept within yourself. What is happening actually? And after
Yes.
that, it's finished. Okay. So if you have any doubts, just put it at the last of the class. I'll answer all of your
Okay.
doubts.
Okay, sir.
So when I'm teaching a topic, let me just finish it.
Okay, sir.
Okay, just let me finish it, and then you can go. Then you
Yes, sir,
can go
definitely.
overboard and say, sir, you are wrong. I'm not happy with your explanation. Okay.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you. So in this case, again, what happens? So let us go again, redo it. So we have to find a maximum or minimum value in an array. So we know we'll take the first value as the max, and then we'll compare with max with all other values in the array. Right. Now, int I is greater than max. If if there is a value which is greater than max, then what happens? Now, if any value is greater than the max, then the max is replaced with that value. Okay. And this procedure continues till the end. Right. And initially, what we will do, we will just return the. Okay. So let us start the coding. Int max equal to add 0. Int max is equal to add 0. So this one is how much? 10. And so let us say max value becomes equal to 10. All right. Now int I equal to 1, I less than equal to 10 minus 1, I plus plus. If add 1, right? Add 1 is greater than max. If 6 is greater than 10, max value is currently 10, right? Max value is currently 10. Max value is currently 10, right? Is 10, sorry, max value is currently 10. Add 1, we start with 1. Is 6 greater than 10? False. So this statement will not execute. Now i's value becomes equal to 2. 18. Is 18 greater than 10? Yes. 18 is greater than 10. This statement is correct. So max value at this moment it changes value to 18. Max equal to becomes 18. Now let us go again. If 18 now add value becomes equal to 3. Is 18 greater than equal to add 3? Add 3 is basically 3 only. So 18 is greater than 3 is false. So it will not go and not execute this one. And equal becomes I becomes value equal to 4. But 4 is greater than equal to 3. So it will be, the for loop will not be executed. It will exit the for. And what is the value to return? It will return max, that is 18. Okay. I think you know how to find the max of a value. In the same way, you can reverse the procedure and you can just write min. So I am leaving the code for you to execute by yourself. How to find the minimum value. One thing that I have ignored in the previous all of these operations is finding what is the time complexity of each operation. So I think you can take the for loop and you can understand. You can give me an explanation what is the time complexity of each of the operation, and that would be an assignment. I think I'll give it to you later. Okay. So finding max of a mean of a value is also done. So we will do another thing in here. We want to reverse an array. So this is how I want to reverse the value. Let us see, this is our array given, and we want to look the array like this one. So it will become like this. Right. So what is actually happening in here? Okay. So what is actually happening in here? So we are reversing the value. So what happens? So let us say this is 10. This 10 becomes 3. 6 becomes 18. Right. That is how the thing is happening. So can you write a code on that? So take a very simple example. Just 1 second. Not typing the exact one. Okay, so there is not an arrow like that. So basically, we want to exchange the value from the first with the last value, the second with the second last value, right? So how to do this? So basically, so one thing we can do, we can exchange the first value with the second last value. So in this case, one problem that arises is that we want to know the indexes of the first and the last. That is one issue. Yeah. So let us say, so we want to exchange the indexed value, right? So in the first case, what will happen? The zeroth index so the zeroth index will be exchanged with the third index, right? In the second case, the first index, the one first index will be indexed with the second one, and okay. So you see that so okay. So you see, in one case, in the first case, the array increases in this direction. In another case, the array decreases in this direction. So the array pointer is 0. In this case, what we should do, right? So indexing is the key to this program is about indexing, how the array increases and decreases. Okay, the index method. So we have to exchange the indexed values. So let us try and try to solve this. Now, again, we have put this array, that is the reverse. Reverse array. So again, the length of the array. Again, you can say the reversal, so we do not need to put that in. Okay. So we do not need to go all for the for loop. We can just go to half of the for loop. We have to just decide where we have to just, if we go half of the loop, half of the array in the for loop, we can already reverse that. Okay. So let us do that. For int I equal to, let us say, 0, I less than equal to n by 2 I plus this. Okay. So what we want to do, the list value should be exchanged. Right. The first element should be exchanged with the last element. The second element should be exchanged with the second last element. Let us do that. So swapping, we will do the swapping. Now, if let us write that the swapping will be like this. Add. So we'll take a temporary variable. Let us put that as in temporary. For swapping, it is necessary. You are right. Learn in your previous. So we take n is equal to array. That is in this case 0. Okay. In the second case, what we will do, we will exchange array with the last value. So what is the last value? So this is, since this is n, the last value is n minus 1 basically again. So the index is, last index is n minus 1. So this is 3. So we will index it. So it will be just, we can just write n. Just write. I'm just saying it. I'm not basically completing my statement. And we can just write add n is basically again equal to 10. But the fallacy of my statement is that always the first value will be replaced by the, always all the values will be replaced by the last value itself. So this is the fallacy. For 0 it must be 3, but for 1 it must be 2. So how to get that value, right? So let us say n minus 1, it will be n minus 1. So sorry, it will be n minus 1 minus I. Now let us complete this. Now let us complete this program. So let us say reverse in the rest. So when we are doing this like this, so and I equal to 0, I less than equal to n by 2. So what is the value of this length? So array was length is 4, 4 by 2 is 2. So it will go 0 to 12th location, right? Now temp equal to add 0, right? And I is equal to 0, temp equal to add 0. Okay, fine. Temp value is how much at this moment? Temp value is 10, right? Temp value is at this moment 10, right? So, and temp equal to add I is equal to becomes n minus 1 minus I. What is the n minus 1 minus I means? N minus 1 means that is the length was 4, 4 minus 1 is 3, 3 minus 0 is 3. So that is the last element. For 0 it will be 3 values. So 10, the 10 becomes 3 in here. Okay. And add 3, add n minus 1, that is 4 minus 1, 3 minus 0, add 3 becomes equal to how much? Temp, that is the temp value is what you was holding earlier, 10. So this value becomes 10. The value is exchanged. Right. Now in the second, now I becomes plus plus. So from 0 it becomes 1. Okay. So then again let us do this. 1. Let us say let it will not be equal to, it will be less than equal to. So by 2 is 2. Okay, so 0, 1. Okay, fine. Now this is okay. Now let us do 0 is 1. Now ith value is 1. Ith value is 1. Okay, now this value is 6. Okay, so now 6, temp value we take this as 6. Now temp value we have taken as 6. So temp value is stored as now 6. Now add 1, that is ith value is 1. 1 is equal to how much? N minus 1. N minus 1 means the length of the array is 4. The index value will be 4 minus 1, that is 3. 3 minus 1 will be 2. So 6. 6 and 18. So add 1 will be replaced by the add 2 value. So this value becomes 18. Lastly, when becomes add n minus 1, that is 4 minus 1, 3. 3 minus 1 is 2. Add 2 becomes equal to temp. Temp value is what it was chosen we have earlier. That it becomes basically 6. So the reversing of the list is done. Okay, so I think you have all understood how to reverse. Okay, now you can put the gauntlet and ask as many questions you like. Just unmute yourself and ask questions. Any questions you have? Any questions you have? Can you hear me all, everyone? Just write a yes if
Yes,
you're
sir.
hearing.
Yes, sir.
If any questions you have, now ask me.
No, sir, it's fine.
You have all understood? Okay. So reversing an array we have already done. Polynomial operations we will deal in the next class. Okay. Another operation is there, sorting an array. We will deal in the last chapter of this topic. Okay. So what we can do in this question, that you can write all P for present. And I will send you this lecture notes as well as the lecture video. Let's write P.